As oil marketers reach a favorable negotiation ground with the Dangote Refinery, the NNPC has directed oil marketers to henceforth cease the importation of fuel. This invariably means that all PMS supply will be coming directly from the Dangote Refinery. Recall that recently, the oil marketers revealed that they have reached a common ground with Dangote refineries to lift 28 million liters of fuel on a daily basis.
Oil marketers at the weekend struck a deal with a $20 billion Dangote refinery for the supply of at least 28 million liters of petrol daily in the next 6 months for domestic consumption. The development came amid an announcement by the refinery that it had cut ex-depot petrol price from 990 naira per litre to 970 naira per litre, saying it's its own way of thanking Nigerians for their support. A stakeholders meeting at the weekend in Abuja resolved that oil marketers will henceforth cease importation of products. It stressed that if they must bring in new stock, it must or would be dependent on the unavailability of products from Dangote Refinery. Confirming the new agreement in a statement in Abuja, petrol retailers under the Petroleum Products Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria, Petron, said the deal was expected to bring succor to Nigerians. A release by the organization's spokesman, Dr. Joseph Obele, said other stakeholders that signed the deal included Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA, Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, and Edo Refinery. Others were Dangote Refinery, Walter Smith Refinery, Aradel Refinery, and Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, among others. All right, Rufai, great way to start the week. Great news to be starting with. Is this the light at the end of this long, drawn-out tunnel?
Not really, and I'll say it. So, a couple of parameters. You can't say it's light at the end of the long, drawn-out tunnel because even at 970, the price of petrol will still be on the increase. Most Nigerians can't afford it. I'm sure when you came back from your holiday, you saw how empty most of the streets are. Yes, you don't have a lot of traffic. So a lot of Nigerians can't still afford it because even if you sell 970, with all the iterated costs that are added to it, moving costs and things like that, you'll still go up to about 1,000. Yeah. You get, and also market forces. But I think the back and forth is, yes, IPMAN and Dangote have been able to reach a resolution, but I don't think it's too much away from the mark they decided earlier. And I think the first conversation they had was IPMAN members can pick it up at 990 if they wanted to use their ships, and at 970 if they wanted to use their their ships, and at 990 if they wanted to use their trucks. So it's still pretty much a middle ground. But now, is this a flat fee? That's the question we should ask. What is going to be the parameter if you're going to use your ship to be able to, pick it up? And that's it. So that's settled on that. But also, there's still a lot of controversy with Petron saying that it is not true what Dangote said about it, that they want to go and import substandard fuel. Because what the other members are saying that if we go ahead to import fuel, we can still sell it cheaper. But the question is, are we not complaining about Forex in the first place? So going to import fuel, is it not going to add to more pressure on the Forex?
Absolutely. And
we've always had the conversation about substandard fuel. If you remember when NNPC brought in fuel that was knocking people's engine in this country and nothing was done as regards it, that's another side to the story. I think the third lap to the story is also the fact that, yes, a lot of products of Dangote Refinery have found their way to Heathrow, Iceland, and a couple of other airports, and it shows a lot of productive strength in there. But also, the fourth leg to the story is the fact that that NNPC deal to supply Dangote crude in Naira has also stalled because they have not gotten a lot of products. So the question is, where is the product NNPC said they are giving? How much is NNPC producing? Only yesterday, this day brought out the story that what NUPRC actually churned out as regards October productions of 1.5 and maybe plus and 1.7 of condensate contradicts the 1.8 NNPC was saying. So how many deals do we have in crude oil sweeps? What are the other parameters going on there? But the most important question I'd like to ask this morning is, where is the Port Harcourt refinery we pay over $2 billion for?
That's the big question.
Where are other refineries we've serviced all this while? Why is NNPC not meeting their end of the bargain?
Absolutely.
I think those are questions.
Thank you very much.
Okay, before now, there was an issue with the marketers and the retailers. Petron, IPMAN, Moman, those groups that were supposed to patronize the domestic refinery, $20 billion worth of refinery, largest single train facility in that axis in the whole of Africa. Now, they even threatened, I think some of the marketers threatened to take Dangote to court. They said there were disagreements over the commercial agreements and all of that. So this comes as a big relief that that particular problem has been resolved and that there was a meeting at the weekend involving all the stakeholders and now some agreement has been reached. The enabling principle here are two. The willing buyer, willing seller principle that the Tinubu administration talked about. So now we seem to have made some progress, it will appear, with regard to commercial agreements and also with regard with the willing buyer, willing seller template. What is not clear is that whether the other leg of the issue, which is crude for Naira, or is it Naira for crude? Naira for crude arrangement has also been resolved. So at the end of the day, what is the simple, commonsensical lesson from this is that there is nothing that dialogue cannot resolve. The second leg of it is that we have always made the point on this table that, look, domestic effort should be supported and encouraged, not just by government, but also by Nigerians. Dangote, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, has made it very clear that, look, he's not one of these people who have properties all over the world. He would rather invest in Nigeria. I think it speaks to the Nigerian character, in a way, in my view, that a man will invest his money in this country to create job opportunities, to develop infrastructure, and then some people will come and they will say, we will fight you. You will not do it. I think that at a personal level, this is some kind of personal triumph and vindication for Alhaji Aliko Dangote, that at least the community, the ecosystem within which he operates, has now seen the sense in what he has done. Now, three, we're told over the weekend there was some back and forth about whether NNPCL had given directives to the marketers and retailers, and the big question was that the NNPC Limited is also a player, it's not a regulator. But, okay, the conversation that is now being reported in the papers today is very useful. Now, the latest development also yesterday was that Dangote Refinery said it had reduced the pump price of fuel from 990 naira per liter. That's, what do they call it? Ex-depot price. To 970 naira. Well, I was joking on another program, This Day Live yesterday, that 970 naira is small. They should help us bring it to 400 naira or 300 naira if possible. But I was saying that in jest because this is an investment. When you invest, you must get back your cost. What is it they teach us in finance class? The return on investment must be higher than cost of production. And my finance teacher said, say that to anybody anywhere in the world. They cannot contradict me, but I think it's just basic common sense. But this is the point. The additional point is that the Dangote Refinery, to talk about importation, because the marketers were talking about where they will only import after, due agreement with Dangote Refinery. Now, imported fuel, what we're told is that this imported fuel, NMDPRA has no facility to even check quality. It is from imported fuel that we have bad products, that we have low quality, high sulfur importation. And now, Dangote Refinery produces the highest grade of low sulfur content, better than what is obtainable in Europe or elsewhere. And so that's why, the 970, the discount of 20 naira that Dangote has given us, I think is okay if you look at the economics of it. The final point, of course, is that, well, I think it should be continually supported, and all of us should support. And the company has acknowledged it, that we have been given 20 naira discount for our support for Dangote Refinery. When business improves, please, this should be sustainable. The thing should start coming down small, as business does well. The Dangote Refinery deserves our support.
Absolutely. Now, just to say that they've also defied one of the terms in Nigerian markets whereby when anything goes up, when price goes up, it hardly comes down. They've been able to debunk that by bringing down the price, saying that in light of the fact that they've enjoyed quite good support from the Nigerian people and the government, as well as the fact that it's Christmas time very soon, this is Dangote's gift to Nigerians without compromising on the quality of their products. And I think this is fantastic news. Just to emphasize again that the 970 naira is not the pump price of petrol, it's ex-depot price. So it's still going to be high because when you put on attendant costs by the marketers, it's going to raise the price a little higher. But at least what this should mean, hopefully, is that we should enjoy the 20 naira at source as well, whatever we're paying currently per litre for petrol. We'll find out what the price will be shortly. But beyond that, I think very important is also for us to begin to ask questions around the refineries, Nigeria's refineries as well. We keep talking about Dangote Refinery, which is fantastic that a private individual would choose to meet the challenges that Nigeria currently has in terms of its access to petrol, crude oil supply, and also affordability and availability. But beyond that is that we cannot really tell the true picture of a free market if it's just one player in the market. And this is as a result of the fact that our refineries, despite the amount of money that has been pumped into it, doesn't seem to be working. The deadlines have been consistently breached. The last time we heard was that before the end of this year, at least the Port Harcourt refinery will come on stream. It was mechanically completed, but we haven't seen anything yet from that. And that's why there's so much attention on Dangote Refinery. Now he's coming to help solve the challenges that we face so far. And he had met with a lot of bottlenecks, people kicking against. And that's why I said at the beginning that finally, hopefully, this is a light at the end of the very long tunnel since he launched his $20 billion facility. Beyond the provision or accessibility or the availability of petrol is also the economic contributions of the Dangote Refinery. Talk about the jobs that are affected, the environment, the area that is situated, and the development and infrastructure built in that area. These are some of the things that we should praise and find a way to support and ensure that the Dangote Refinery project does not fail, whatever your leanings are, because at the end of the day, Nigeria should be the main focus for everyone. But it's great news this morning. Hopefully it can be sustained and we don't get to hear another backlash again tomorrow or next tomorrow. But very importantly, let the people have fuel over Christmas. We don't want any kind of fuel scarcity or queues at the petrol pumps. And of course, let the prices come down. As business gets better and hopefully when more players come into the market, we'll see that reflected in the prices.
This is to say that there will not be a widespread supply of the Dangote Refinery's products going forward. This is a win for Dangote and a win for oil marketers. Nigerians are the ones losing at this junction because the expected price of fuel coming from the Dangote Refinery is still astronomically high. This is against what Nigerians expected. When Dangote's refinery was coming on stream, many Nigerians were jubilating, expecting that once the refinery comes on stream, the price of PMS will be drastically reduced. Against this expectation, what we see today is a different ballgame entirely. The price has been fixed above 1,000 naira per litre, and the hunger ravaging the nation is spreading dramatically. The poverty ratio is increasing exponentially against the Nigerian people. Again, I dare to say that Dangote Refinery is winning, oil marketers are winning, NNPCL are winning, but Nigerians are losing at the tail end of all of this.